Brought to you by Online Invent, websites, digital marketing and custom software. And with thanks to these great community supporters.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of In Pit Lane. Yes, the final insult after 28 years on air. This is the final edition of In Pit Lane from the studios of RMIT here in the heart of Grand Prix City, Melbourne. A little bit later on in the program, we're going to take you down the highway to Geelong for the weekend's Geelong Revival. A couple of great cars we had a look at down there. I'm going to give you some details about that a little bit later on. Also, we're going to take you to some news from Phillip Island. Unfortunately, a sad weekend with the passing of Andrew Rhodes-Anderson, and we'll be paying tribute to Andrew in just a moment as well. But for our final show, oh yes, and also music. We've got to have music. Joining us tonight, Roundabout Amy. Why is she called Roundabout Amy? You'll find out when she performs a little bit later on in the program. But roundabout me at the moment, and joining me in a glass of champagne, is my co-host, Craig Doc Gladigo. Doc, welcome to In Pit Lane.
Oh, well, thanks, Brett. Hello to everyone out there. And we've been working up the sweat, so the champagnes has really hit the spot. I think you got a touch of the hiccups there. Great to be on the black studio tarmac for the last time, but yeah, we're not lost. We're not forgotten.
That is one of the dangers of drinking on air. Is of course it comes back to bite you.
Run around Sue.
Yes, that's it. And if you're wondering why we're ending, there is the reason number one. Too old for this.
What? Oh, CEO of nothing.
And CEO of everything.
No, nothing.
Okay, as I said, we're going to check out some news, some unfortunate news from the weekend. We're going to do that right now with the In Pit Lane Motorsport News. Well, a pall over the usual end-of-season party atmosphere of Island Magic after the sad passing of popular improved production driver Andrew Rhodes-Anderson. Rhodes-Anderson spun at MG in race one of the weekend but recovered without incident and drove away. However, he soon pulled to the side of the track where circuit officials found him unresponsive behind the wheel. Despite the immediate and frantic attention of the trackside medical team and an emergency air ambulance flight to the hospital, unfortunately he could not be revived. The rest of Saturday's racing was cancelled. Sunday saw several categories paying tribute to Rhodes-Anderson, with his Commodore leading the field out for the feature race, the Matthew Flinders Trophy. Andrew started his racing at the Calder Park Thunderdome. He later raced in Super TT and Winton at Winton and Calder before purchasing the VN as a saloon car, fitting a Chev and joining the improved production ranks. He's remembered as a man who raced to have fun and to hang out with his mates. He was also praised for his generosity in helping out fellow competitors in order to keep them on the track. Longtime friend, former sportsman driver Gary Roberts said that if he chose you to be his friend, you had the most solid friend in the world, a friend that would do absolutely everything for you and your family. In fact, if you were his friend, to him it meant you were his family. He is survived by his brothers Matt and Desmond, his wife Katie, son Winston, along with daughters Casey and Nisha. All of us here at In Pit Lane send our condolences to the family and many friends of Andrew Rhodes-Anderson.
Well, wasn't it scorching over the weekend? The heatwave conditions on Saturday certainly had its effect on the annual Geelong Revival. Numbers were down on previous years, but the event still attracted a large crowd of locals and some fabulous cars and bikes.
With temperatures in the mid-30s, Saturday was a rough day for both competitors, officials, spectators and the media, as the cars and bikes made their runs on the famous curved quarter-mile track along the picturesque Eastern Beach. Unfortunately, the clash with the new Motors and Masterpieces show at the Melbourne Showgrounds and the recent packed historic racing calendar saw numbers of these cars well down over previous years. They seem to be replaced by plenty of more modern cars and bikes, with many Calder Park off-street and roll racing regulars on hand making up the numbers. The best sounding, if not fastest car at the event was this rare Indy Lights Buick Sabre.
Yeah, well, this is originally based over in Japan, and they built the cars in America. This is the 1990 model car, and it's still very period in the way that it is. It's still running an old school Haltech computer, which is much like a dinosaur. Like, it's huge, fuel increments are high, but it's very on or off the throttle. So 2.5 inch each throttle bodies, bit over 500 horsepower. It's an IndyCar transmission, 4-speed Wiseman, and it goes very well. So it's a little bit tricky to get off the line. It's not a drag car, but we're having lots of fun. Our business brought the cars back in 2006, 2007. So we've had them for quite a while, but I don't get them out very often, and they probably got finished off getting restored in about 2014, which is when we ran this car here last, this particular one. So yeah, the idea was just to do a bit of odd circuit racing, but work commitments and family. Yeah, but it's a beautiful car, and I like the style, I like the shape.
So tell us about the engine, V6 engine, what size is it?
It's a 4.5 litre V6. It's a Buick Stage 2, so it's an Indy block as far as the spec goes. So it's a billet engine really. It's a race engine, all dry sumped. Kinsler manifolds, 6 throttle bodies. It's on or off the power, so it's quite amazing to drive. Yeah, it just makes a lot of noise. It's a good thrill.
At the other end of the sophistication spectrum was this crazy example of Aussie backyard ingenuity. It might have started life as a Formula Vee, but the addition of a screaming 13B rotary made it something very different and special indeed.
Started life as a Formula Vee. Melmark was a licensed car that was similar to an Elfin, same chassis, same body. This car come from Ballarat, cut up in a million pieces. I pieced it together. It's got a 13B peripheral port rotary with a sequential gearbox, inboard suspension, a little bit different to a Formula Vee, let's say. A little bit restricted these days what we can do. I've run the car in hill climbing before. I run the car every year down here when I get a chance. And yeah, it's one of those things, you can't use it a lot, but they're a hell of a lot of fun when we can actually get out and drive them.
So what's the reaction to the car when people say, I mean, when I had a look at it, I went, well, hang on a second, what the hell is this?
Normally that's the reaction because of a peripheral port rotary is very loud, but the kids love it, you know, little kids love it and sit in it, and you know, so many people like the car and I get lots of good comments, and yeah, it's a fun car. I bought the parts and the chassis when I was 16. I'm 42 now and I'm still developing it.
After disappearing from the local calendar several years ago, the revival of the famous speed trials has brought lots of great cars, fast bikes and wide smiles to Victoria's second city. It's a must-visit event if you haven't done it yet, and if you have done it, well, you'll hardly need any encouragement to do it again. Same time next year.
You're watching the final In Pit Lane here on Melbourne's Channel 31. When we come back, we'll have some more news for you, and we'll be joined a little bit later by Roundabout Amy to take us out. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineinvent.com.au.
So on this, our final studio show, we'd really like to give a massive shout out to Online Invent, Melbourne's go-to for custom web development and digital marketing solutions. Owner Roy Ellery has been a huge driving force behind keeping In Pit Lane on air for the past few years, and we just want to say a huge personal thank you from all of us here on RMI TV and In Pit Lane. Without his commitment and generous support for the show, we wouldn't have reached the status that it holds today. Thank you to Roy and Online Invent for keeping motorsport and community TV alive. If you or your business are looking to raise your online marketing game, then learn more at onlineinvent.com.au.
I'm sure he's tuned in right now.
I'm sure he is, and
he'd be having a very proud dad moment, I think.
Look, as I said, we would not be able. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Over 28 years, sponsors. Everyone in motorsport knows how hard it is to get sponsors, and we've been very, very fortunate that we've just, somehow we've always managed to, at the very last minute, just sort of scrape together enough to get us over the line.
And just every little chip has helped along the way. It's been, the stories, I've been with Brett for 6 years now, but the stories are iconic.
And it doesn't seem a day over 23.
I'm leaving that one alone. You only go, anyway, as old as you feel. However, it's just been... over the years, it's just everyone's just a little bit have chipped in here and there everywhere. It's just managed to get us through, whether it be one season, 2 seasons, or the year. And the sponsors that you've said that over the years have been absolutely fantastic with their support. We've been very lucky in the main over the years, because it is very difficult to get sponsorship. I mean, people sort of have a look and say, well, it's RMI-TV, it's student television. Community TV, you get it all done for nothing for you, don't you?
Yeah, it all happens for nothing. No, it actually costs an awful lot of money and an awful lot of time to do the program, and it's part of the reason for sort of stepping away from the studio show. But
the RMIT, the university support we've had over the years is too.
Yeah, look, we'll go through that later. But yes, on the actual the 31 feed itself. But we've been so incredibly blessed to be a part of this for so long, since we came here from Optus Vision back in about I think it was 1999. We came over from Optus Vision. So once again, thank you very much. But more about that later. One thing that we've done over the years, since the days of Optus Vision and right through to our very final show tonight, is feature some of the incredible local music. It's just, we are so blessed in Melbourne. I say this every week. Just every time we sort of put out a call for somebody to come in, I get all of these sort of people saying, hey, I could come in, and here's a link to my, and I put a link, and I go, oh yeah, I'll have a look at that. And go, oh my God, they're so good. That's the case once again with our final studio guest, and this is, well, you'll find out. Her name is Amy, but she calls herself Roundabout Amy. Why? Well, you'll find out in a moment. You can find her under Roundabout Amy on Instagram and Facebook. But right now, here is Roundabout Amy with Time.
Of the world tonight, I know. On the edge of everything you know. And I'm still so angry facing words you know. Will you hold me when I'm saying everything you know? Because I can see into your eyes. Just wasting all your time. Put me in a corner, watch me bleed, whilst I'm making lies make believe. Is this love playing cards with fire? Whilst I'm standing hard against the ground, don't let me be your lost and found. Put me away, I'll be fine. In time. On the edge of the world tonight, I know. On the edge of everything you know. And I'm still so angry facing words you know. Hold me when I'm saying, baby, please don't go. Because I can see into your eyes that I'm just wasting all your time. Put me in a corner, watch me bleed, whilst I'm making lies make believe. Is this love playing cards with fire? time. Oh, in time. In time. Oh, in time. Time. Put me in a corner, watch me bleed. Whilst I'm making lies make believe. Is this love playing cards we fight? Whilst I'm standing hard against the ground, don't let me be your lost and found. Put me away, I'll be fine. Put me away, I'll be fine. In time. Oh, oh, in time. On the edge of the world tonight, I know. On the edge of everything you.
Roundabout Amy and Time. Thank you very much,
I
Amy.
reckon,
Amy.
is that a Shirley Manson T-shirt?
It's a Grace Tame rolling her eyes t-shirt.
Oh, I was going to say, I knew there was some sort of feminine touch to that because Shirley
touch
Manson
of.
does the cherry lips where she, you can only see the face.
Absolutely. Bit of garbage.
Yeah, cool.
Great.
Yeah, thanks,
And
Amy.
Amy will be joining us to play us out for the final show, for the final song on the final show here on In Pit Lane a little bit later on in the program. But we're going to come back in a second. We're going to catch up with all of the rest of the
I think
news.
we're going to work on some choreography, don't we?
I think we've worked out there. I've got the choreography worked out already. I reach over with a glass in the hand, I hold it up and I say, cheers to you.
That's your Pilates. Cheers, everyone.
Yes. So there you go. So we're going to take a very quick break and we're going to come back with more of the program in just a moment. You're watching the final edition of In Pit Lane from the studios of RMIT here in the heart of Grand Prix City, Melbourne. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to In Pit Lane. Well, in on-track action at Phillip Island last weekend, Western Australian driver Paul Stubber dominated historic touring cars, leading home a Camaro 1-2-3 finish, almost like supercars. National Formula Ford champion Eddie Beswick claimed the Phillip Island Formula Ford trophy ahead of Queenslander Lachlan Evnett and Victorian Brad James finishing third. Thomas Chapman took the 1600 class win. Ryan McMillan, driving a Dallara Formula 3, won the Victorian Road Racing Championships John Roxburgh Trophy. Miles Bromley was second with Kyle Evans in third. Jared Tonks secured an emotional win in the Matthew Flinders Plate for improved production cars in his Commodore, leading home Andrew Butcher's BMW M3 and Scott Cook of South Australia in a Nissan Silvia. New South Wales driver Stephen Lacey finally clinched his first Phillip Island 50k plate for sports sedans after several years of trying. Ray Hislop was second with South Australia's Adam Poole third. There was more success for New South Wales drivers as Michael Kinsella won the Maury Fordham Trophy for Formula Vee, edging out Victorians Lee Partridge and Andre Curran in a thrilling finish, the top 5 cars separated by less than a second. In the Victorian Tourist Trophy for sports cars, Mike Kokonos and Courtney Prince dominated in the Audi R8, winning from Grant Donaldson in a Mustang. And finally, in the Endeavour Cup for the Porsche 944 Challenge, local driver James Westaway triumphed ahead of Adam Brewer and Cameron Bella.
And in overseas news, Max Verstappen secured his 4th consecutive Formula One World Championship with a measured drive to 5th place under the lights of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. God, that place lights up. The Red Bull driver needed only to keep title rival Lando Norris behind him to seal the crown. While Verstappen celebrated his title, it was a Mercedes night at the front. George Russell delivered a commanding performance in the tricky conditions to claim his 2nd victory of the season. Well done, Georgie. Lewis Hamilton starred 10th, carving his way through the field to complete an unexpected Mercedes 1-2. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc capitalised on Verstappen's conservative approach, in the closing laps to secure third and fourth places. Norris took sixth for McLaren, but fell out of championship contention despite a late stop to secure the fastest lap. His teammate Oscar Piastri, come on Aussie, finished seventh after a bizarre time penalty for a false start. With his championship win, Verstappen has joined the elite ranks of four-time world champions.
And Formula One will have a new team from 2026 with the news that General Motors will be joining the championship with the Cadillac brand. The move comes after Formula One initially rejected the bid, which was headed up by Michael Andretti earlier this year. The Andretti name has since been dropped from the proposal and Michael is no longer involved. God knows who is upset in Formula One, but he upset them a lot. The cars will be initially powered by Ferrari. That's until GM develop their own power unit.
You might be onto something there, Brett. And a new pathway to F1 for local drivers with Formula Regional Australia set to launch in 2025. That looks pretty exciting. The series will use the current spec New Zealand Toyota Racing Series Tatus FT60 cars. The collaboration will see the cars compete on both sides of the Tasman. In Australia, the season will run from February to October, with the cars then returning to New Zealand for their summer racing. An invitational class will also feature earlier generational cars. Looking forward to that. Further details, including the calendar and entry fees, will be released in the coming weeks.
Yes, it's just funny. Over 28 years of doing this program, it's been sort of almost the running gag on the program. I mean, the push to establish top-level Formula, open wheel racing in the country. When we started on the program, it was of course Formula Holden, and if you look back on the time when guests on this program included Will Power, Indy 500 winner and Indy 500 champion, Scott Dixon, Mark Scaife, Jason Bright.
They all cut their teeth in it, didn't they?
Mark Larkham. They were all racing in Formula Holden, and it was really popular. Then it sort of just disappeared over the years. Formula 3 came after that. That didn't quite take off. Great cars, great racing. I've got
to say, the popularity in the last 12, 18 months, though, you've seen Formula 1 here in Australia and overseas. They've all started taking Formula 2 and Formula 3 back to their racing calendar when they're doing their Formula 1 races. And also, we were at Macau in the last couple of weeks. How exciting was not just obviously the conditions in the country, though, and the track they do.
Well, they are essentially the cars that we're going to see here in Formula Regional.
That's exactly right, because they're all Formula Regional. And they've just taken over from the Formula 3s and Formula 4s. So the popularity, you can see it's evolving and come full circle, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting and something we can follow sort of, into the future. I really do wish it the very, very best of luck.
They reckon, I was listening to the Macau commentary, they reckon that the Formula Regional cars is going to be the best step they can take before they get into Formula 2 and Formula 3 in the
And that's what happened. I mean, we saw it once again. We did see it Macau. We saw Australia's James Wharton, who is going to race in Formula 3 next year. He was
Cooper
part
Murray.
of there. Cooper Webster. Unfortunately, it probably means the death knell of Formula of S5000. I mean, everybody said, the reason it's not taking off is we don't have the big bangers, we don't have the big V8s. We want the big V8s. We got the big V8s, and for whatever reasons, politics or, just unfortunate, COVID hit at the wrong time, whatever reason, it just really never took off like we were hoping that it would take off. So it'll be interesting to see where, if anywhere, S5000 fits in the future. And listen, as I said, but we'll find out in the months and years to come. And remember, even though this is our final program here on Channel 31, we will have a future for In Pit Lane, and we'll be talking about that next year. But right now, our future includes a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up 28 years of In Pit Lane on Channel 31 and free-to-air television. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineinvent.com.au.
Now, as we said, we would like to take a moment to also thank our incredible Patreon supporters who have helped keep us alive and thriving. As I said last week sort of, our catering budget came entirely from our Patreon supporters. And while we are moving on from Channel 31 and traditional broadcast television, In Pit Lane is far from slowing down. In fact, we're gearing up to deliver even more coverage of local motorsport than ever before. More news, more stories, more background features, and more of the grassroots racing you love, now fully online on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel and Facebook page. But we do still need your help if we're going to make this transition successful. If you're already supporting us, thank you so very much. And look, we'd love you to continue this journey with us into the next exciting chapter. If you haven't joined us yet, even $1 or $2 a week can make a huge difference. And for businesses and clubs, look out for our new corporate supporters level that'll give you even more exposure at an even cheaper price. Visit patreon.com/thepitcrew and help us keep supporting local motorsport, just as we've done now for 28 years. And once again, to all of you who have supported us in the past few months and years on Patreon, thank you very much for being a part of our team.
Not just those ones, the people that come up and see you at the track and say, please accept this gift. And that's happened regularly.
That has happened. They
walk up and say, Brett, please. And Brett's like, no. It's not a hot dog. It's not a can of Coke. It's not one of these either, unfortunately.
No, actually, it was once. I've told this story before. I was sitting in a food court and somebody came and put a thing like a bag next to me, a brown paper bag, and I went, oh, what? And he said, I just want to say thank you for all you guys are doing. And I opened the bag, and it was a bottle of scotch. Oh. So thank you to that person from all those years ago.
Brett probably didn't move for a week.
I didn't know. That was a very good food court lunch. I can tell you. I can tell you there.
Spicy.
But yes, I mean, I can go into all the details as to why we're moving on and what we're doing in the future, but we simply don't have time at the moment. I don't want to make this sort of too much of a nostalgia program. But once again, thank you very much for supporting us. Everybody who has over the past.
Thank you to all the people that come up and approach us and any way, shape or form. They show their appreciation.
Literally pulled up the doctor's surgery yesterday. Opened the door, guy pulled in next to me, got out of the car, said, I watched you on the television on Saturday. Came up, had a selfie taken and all the rest of it. So we know lots of people do watch the program.
I went to Bunnings a couple of weeks ago and, you do the motorsport show. Can I just get a photo? And I want the photo just for a dad. So there you go.
Yes, I did have that. I did have that just recently too. My grandfather's been watching you for years. Yes. Anyway, thank you for that. We're going to just take a very quick break now, and we're going to come back and wrap up 28 years of In Pit Lane, and we're going to be played out by our friend Roundabout Amy. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a second. Welcome back to the final edition of In Pit Lane. Well, now for 28 years, In Pit Lane's been powered by the passion and dedication of an incredible team of volunteers here at RMITV Student Television. And now we're asking the local motorsport community to show their gratitude by supporting our GoFundMe campaign. Your contribution will help us throw a well-deserved thank you party to celebrate the hard work and commitment to grassroots motorsport by our team. And look, every little bit helps. So please, there's a QR code on the edge. Yes, the crew are saying, please shout us a drink. And as I said, every little bit helps. So please go to our GoFundMe page, give what you can, and let's come together and say thank you to all of our crew at RMITV who have made In Pit Lane possible for nearly 3 decades. And I've got to say, in terms of keeping the program on the air for all these years, these are the people, as you well know, who have done it. I say this every year, this is a team sport. Yep. You and I can do this stuff to our hearts, but without all of the people here, without the people in the control room, without the people at Channel 31, and thank you very much to them as well, we don't do anything.
They make the magic happen. I've always said that. They're
so.
The ones that make the magic happen. And on behalf of all those people in society, full stop, across the board, and for the decades that are here right with us in the world and the past ones, I'm sure they show out a massive amount of gratitude to this man, Brett Ramsey. I'm sorry, but he's got to be thanked. He is an institution, and this show would
Society is thanking me.
28 years would not have happened unless it was this man.
That says a lot about the standards of society.
The one and only Brett Ramsey, everybody. Thank you on behalf of everyone.
Well, thank you very much. Hey, thanks everybody. So I've got to say, one of the features of the program over the years has, of course, been our incredible number of live musicians. And of course, it wouldn't be an episode of In Pit Lane unless we had someone playing us out tonight. So closing us out tonight is Roundabout Amy. You can find her on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook under Roundabout Amy. And she's going to take us out in just a moment. But one more thing before I go, I've got to say one thing in terms of saying thank you to everybody. The main reason this show has gone on for so long, you see her name at the end of every show, for Melissa. Good night. Here is Roundabout Amy with Wolf. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Let's take it. seeing you. Yeah, it's fine. How many ways till we don't fight? I'll be seeing you. Yeah, it's fine. And I'm hoping that after all this time you still got my back, like a little wolf pack. And I'm saying things that I really don't mean. You still want me back. I'm not dreaming that I'm gonna be a wolf tonight. I'll keep on out until the morning light. Each time you walk through my door, you tell me you love me, but I want more. I don't wanna sleep tonight. I'll keep on out until the morning light. I'm gonna be a wolf, alright. So keep throwing punches and I'll does right. How many ways can you change your mind? I'll be seeing you. Yeah, it's fine. How many ways can you make me whine? I'll be saying things will be alright. Just let me be alone tonight. And I'm hoping that after all this time you still got my back, like a little wolf pack. And I'm saying things that I really don't mean. You still want me back. And I'm dreaming that I'm gonna be a wolf tonight. I'll keep on out till the morning light. This time you walk through my door, tell me you love me, but I want more. I don't want to tonight. I'll keep on out till the morning light. I'm gonna be a wolf, alright. Keep on punches and I'll does right. So many ways to fall. I won't be safe at all. So hold me in your dreams. Life will go faster than it seems for me to run right into your arms. So many ways to fall. I don't wanna sleep tonight. I'm gonna be a wolf, alright. Each time you walk through my door, you tell me you love me, but I want more. I don't wanna sleep tonight. I'm gonna be a wolf, alright. Keep on out until the morning light. Each time you walk through my door, tell me you love me, but I want more. I don't wanna sleep tonight. I'll keep on out until the morning light. I'm gonna be a wolf, alright. So keep throwing punches and I'll does right. I'm gonna be a wolf, alright. So keep throwing punches and I'll does right. I'm gonna sleep tonight. So keep throwing punches and I'll does right.
Viewers, you're not going to believe where tonight's edition of In Pit Lane is coming from. Bonjour, madame. Welcome to a special edition of In Pit Lane.
Mark, welcome to In Pit Lane.
Hi, Brett.
Sterling, welcome to In Pit Lane.
Thank you, it's lovely to be here.
A poster at the bus stop in Dandenong, and it said, "Have you ever wanted to make your own television show?" It's funny you should ask that poster. Yes.
Phil, what are you doing there in that?
Well, it's April.
It's not. we've just been across the office.
We're here at Stoke Sandown and I'm sitting in a Vinnie muscle cart.
The legacy that I think in pit lane, well, I hope that it will leave, is great memories for a lot of people that have been involved in it. I hope that it will have a legacy in terms of people will remember it fondly.